Welcome to AKM2B. Today we're gonna have a look on my Mustang. It's a 3.8 liters V6, and this video is especially for you who considering to buying a Mustang from the generation SN95. This is a SN95 from 1996. So it's a 90s Mustang. There's three configurations of this. There's the V6, there's the V8 GT, and there's the V8 Cobra. This is the V6, and this video is for you who may be considering buying a V6 and you're not really sure. I'm going to tell you what you could expect from a V6 and how it feels and how it drives. When you're buying a V6, you're not really getting a fast car, but you're not really getting a slow car either. What you're getting is a pretty light car. This Mustang is just around 1,300 kilo, and that's considered to be pretty light. So you get like a light, agile driving car. It's fun to drive, and it's pretty minimum. There's no ABS brakes, there's no anti-skid systems or stuff like that. It's just you and the car and a very good driving experience, especially on like small forest and country roads like this, where you are limited by the characteristics of the road to drive really quick. This car is as nice as it could be when you're driving around 100k or 60 miles per hour and just cruising around the forest roads and giving on gas and making the tight turns. That's where it is as best. I choose to put pretty wide tires on them. They are 17-inch and they are 275 wide, and they are pretty low profile. They are like 40 in the profile, so that gives you a little bit feeling like driving a go-kart. The negative thing with having wide tires is that it's pretty sensitive for like uneven roads and stuff like that, but it sticks pretty good and you can push it pretty hard in the corners. You should not really expect this car to be a car that you will do burnouts and stuff like that with. For that, it's kind of lacking some of the power for it. But maybe it's not about the power. I think it's more about the gear ratio in the rear axle. It comes from factory with like 275 or something like that. Later down the road, I'm planning to switch it out for, I think, 410, and I think that should be like change a lot on this car, and it should be more fun to drive, and it should be a little bit quicker off the line, because when I have it in top speed, which is around 160, 180k, I still have it in fourth gear. I don't really need to use the fifth gear for that purposes, and I could drive it in first gear up to like 60k, and I think that is too much. This is the heart of the car, the engine, and if you're planning to work on this car itself, it's a freaking dream actually, because the V6 is not as long as the V8, and that gives you a lot of room in the engine bay to work on, so you could get your hands down there quite easily. Just changing the oil filter just is done in a snap. I did the spark plugs and stuff like that a while ago, and there's a lot of space, and it's an easy engine to work on. So if you are into working the engine with if you are working with the engine yourself, then this is a really good choice. The inside of the car is kind of what you could expect from like an older car. It's pretty minimum. There's no so many functions. There's not even heat in the seats. You have an air condition basically, and the fan. You have a stereo, but well, honestly, you don't really buy one of these cars for what you get inside. Inside, it's a lot of plastic. Their interior is like sounds a lot when you're driving it. It's still an old car. I don't think this is unique for a V6, really. In the V6, you're probably gonna get the cloth seat instead of leather. They are easy to swap out. Back here, I have a seat from a BMW E46, and the driving position is pretty nice. You have a good view around you. I'm driving a stick shift, which is what I would recommend you to use. The stick shift makes it more fun to drive, in my opinion, rather than an automatic. So my recommendation is to pick up a stick shift. There's some modifications you could do for it. You could put a short shift here. I haven't done that yet. Overall, this platform is really nice if you want to tune it and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff around there. It's a popular car. You could tune it, you could modify it in whatever way you want. If you are a person who gets excited by engine sound, I don't think this V6 is going to get you too excited, especially not if you compare it to a V8. I put a straight pipe on it. I still have the cats. It sounds okay. At idles, it's pretty low, but at revs, it sounds okay. Yes. Well, as you can see, it's still able to do some sound. It's not a V8 sound, but it's okay. And overall, it's a fun car, especially on the forest roads and around that. Driving the V6 is quite fun, actually. There's no doubt that I would rather have a V8. But I can't really say that this is a boring car in any way. It's fun to drive, it's responsive, it's pretty stiff, so you feel what's happening in the road, and you don't have the ABS brakes or any other systems for your aid, which makes the driving experience feeling quite manual. And this car handles pretty good for being like an old car. It's not in any way comparable to like a modern car with that has the power and the performance, but it provides a lot of fun driving, and it gives you the sensation that you feel like you're driving faster than you sometimes are, which is pretty good, because that means you don't have to drive ridiculously quick to having a good time. You're just getting the action that normally would be needed. That you're just getting the action that you would normally get from driving really quick by driving slower. And in my opinion, that is kind of like good, because that put you in a safer situation. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments below, and click over here to subscribe, and click over here to see the new playlist where I'm going to be reviewing more cars like that. And let me know also in the comment what you want to see in a review and what you want to know and see about cars. Thanks for watching, and I see you soon.